On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are here in the new shop, and today, well, we're doing some cleaning, and then hopefully we're getting new windows. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it today, but we're sure gonna try. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are here in the new shop. And you guys haven't quite seen this view yet. I realized I didn't put it in yesterday's video where I said we were cleaning the shop and the garage. And we did just that. Take a look at this garage. It is basically 100% emptied, which is the goal because they're supposed to start spray foam insulation this week. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. There's still a little bit of stuff over here on this side that I haven't moved yet. The new air conditioner, tables, stuff that I want to move over to the other building. But Jeff is here with that old school C10 Chevy that we did the LS swap on earlier this year. And he's here to pick up a bunch of the scrap metal that's sitting over there. Obviously not the corrugated, you always need the corrugated. But all these windows and shelves and things like that that I'll never use. Just weird stuff that people collected over the years. We're gonna get all that out of here and get this place nice and clean. All right, guys, you remember that LS Swap C10? I was just telling you about Jeff's truck here that we built to take to LS Fest. Unfortunately, LS Fest is in like 5 days, so we cannot make it this time, but he is using this as a work truck, and he showed up, loaded up all the scrap iron, all these shelves, the old grinder shelf here, all that crazy stuff. We basically emptied all the metal out of this building that we didn't want anymore. So he's got this thing loaded down, actually using it here, and it looks incredible, I gotta say. So now it's got a Holley 750 on it. We had to actually upgrade the carburetor because it wasn't taking off very well with the 600 on it, whatever it was originally. Now it's an absolute monster. Jeff also just got this thing back from the interior shop. It looks so cool compared to when it was here before. Look, it's all made out of actual recycled jeans. There are pockets that he can use for receipts and stuff like that. And he went and put all these cool patches on there like the KFC Super Crew. And even the doors have pockets if you come around there. So that looks really cool. And then hopefully next year we will have this at one of the LS Fests so you guys can come check it out. Because it is a super nice running truck now. And Jeff daily drives it, uses it as a work truck, and you know, it's gotta go. It's gotta go with an LS under the hood of a C10. Well, guys, we just got back from Lowe's where we bought all the lights for the garage, not for the shop, and all new windows for the shop because the shop windows are terrible. So Eric is ripping this window out right now, and we're gonna change them all to low E. Oh, you got it, dog. Look at that. We do need to save that rain rail.
The drip rail?
Yeah, the drip rail's probably gotta move.
50-50, they don't do anything.
Yeah, but...
We just had this talk with the window guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's a marketing scheme.
Well, I guess that one wasn't doing much either, but we're gonna try to save it.
I mean, it was, water was getting in anyway.
It was. But it looks like they just put like 3 spots of caulk on there and called it done.
Yeah.
That's the worst window ever in the history of windows. So there's a lot of glass to clean up because it kind of exploded on the way out. But we're gonna try to get every one of these windows swapped out. More security, more everything. Should be better. Eric's not just making up this drip rail thing. As you can see, there's been a ton of window rain going behind these windows. This board was rotten. The top board was rotten. So he is in here cleaning all this up. And I got all of our glass picked up here. But there's quite the mess from the years of water intrusion. Well, we've got a giant hole opened up here. We're gonna grab new 2x4s, scab them in to reframe this window, set our new windows in, nail them in, and put this all back together. Well, last night we worked until we couldn't see anything anymore. But we got this window in, so it looks a lot better, at least I think. And we are going to trim this metal up here. We're gonna come back with a cutoff wheel. I know it's all dirty, but we're gonna just run it along the top right here and bring the metal up to, you know, grade where it's basically level with the top of the window and slide a drip rail in there. We did decide that it does need a drip rail. Now, this window could do without it, but we're trying to make sure that whatever work we do is better than the last guy's work. The old window frames were square. Obviously there was a bunch of rot because even with a drip rail, they had water coming in behind it. But basically this has kind of a built-in drips channel behind here, and the water would hit that and then fall down. but it might also come back, it might just sit in there. So we decided instead of letting the water just kind of hang out and do whatever it wants, we're gonna tell it where to go. So we are actually gonna run a drip rail on these, and I can't wait to get the rest of these cheap windows out here in a bit. So it won't be too much longer. These are like 1/8 inch glass too. They're basically worthless. And since we're gonna air condition the shop, I can't have something like this just dumping all of our cold air outside. Also, as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of windows on shops in general. My dad taught me that there shouldn't be a single piece of glass on a building that you work in. Like, no one should be able to see in, you shouldn't be able to see out. And it really helps with the YouTube videos because people don't ask why I'm working at night, because it's nice and that's when I want to work. But you just don't get questions if they can't see the sun. So I was already planning on getting rid of some of the light in here. I'm gonna put shades on all of these. I'm gonna put blackout shades on all of them so that we can still control the light in the building. But we decided these 2 windows here, they just need to go. It's got like, there's drip rails and a frame system that they built, and it just doesn't look good on the front, and we've got plenty of replacement sheet metal. So we're gonna delete these 2 windows in their entirety today, and then replace those last ones, even though we did buy windows for everything last night. It was just, I was sitting here, I was like, Eric, I hate windows. Why are we replacing windows? They're the worst thing you could have on a building. And he was like, well, why don't we take some out? So here we are, taking some out. 2 of those windows are going back, which ends up saving me a lot of money since we already had the sheet metal. These were actually cheap. They were $188 each. And you know, $1,000 to do all the windows in a building is a pretty good deal. But it's an even better deal when you get to return 2 of them. Also, these work so much better. Oh, new windows are awesome. That actually does feel great. So I guess if we end up with something running in here, we can open the window now. Now we have some other jobs that we need to get done today as well, and that is getting all of these weird janky lights off the ceiling that, you know, these days anybody would just replace with one of those giant screw-in, like 3-panel lights, where they have the little adjustable panels and an Edison base. Well, that's not okay with me. We're gonna delete these fluorescent fixtures, and we're gonna delete those fixtures, and we have here some Contractor Series Lithonias. This is basically what we're gonna be doing in that building over there. Shout out to Mass Project. He just sent me a light study and what fixtures we need, everything for that building. We'll have a whole episode of lighting that shop later because it's gonna be insane. But this garage also needs a ton of light. There's actually a car wash station set up in here for me. Check this out, guys. Look at that. I don't know if it works. Does it work? Ooh. Car wash station does not work. Maybe that one does. I don't know, but there's a drain there and there's some water there, and I'm planning on hooking that stuff back up so we have a shop sink and some tees and a pressure washer mounted on the wall, and this garage will be where I wash cars. I was gonna build another wash bay over there, but it's so much easier to build it over here where there's water and just a nice clean place to work, and we'll put all the work over in the shop. Let's yank these things down. It's go time. Guys, based on how epic those hooks were, I'm gonna guess that they did actually find studs with those. And now there's a new problem, right? So in my garage at home, when I did lights like this, it was no problem. These light fixtures were evenly spaced in the garage. It made sense. They were equidistant from the walls where they belong. On this house, unfortunately, how did he find a stud there? That's what I want to know. Maybe it runs this way. Maybe he's in the actual truss and the stud runs that way, because you got to put the power on a board too. So this one would make sense, this one would make sense, this one would make sense, 32 inches. I don't know. This is all a mess. All I know is now I have to stick my head up in the attic right there and try to figure out what is mounted to what's actually secure, and then I have to actually go get equidistant from the walls so the lights don't look super dumb. This one I measured 8 foot to the wall, that fixture 11 foot to the wall. the fixtures have to move anyway. So these are gonna get deleted and we'll find a nice new place to hang our lights. Either way, should have it done pretty quickly. One more quick look inside this old Sears code keypad opener before I throw it all in the trash. Pretty interesting. I think you set the code with these dip switches, or it's possible it was also a radio transmitter, but it's funny, they shipped you this with the wire labels on it, and then you had to pull it in and hook everything up. Common. Yeah. Well, all of this is going away, including the opener. The garage is looking better already. I ripped down that old keypad interface off the wall and ripped all the wire down, threw away that old wireless controller for this garage door, and you guys know how it is. There was something mechanical. I had to see if I could get it working, so I got it working. Look at that. It works perfectly. The light bulb doesn't come on, but I think that light bulb might just be burnt out. It's not like I just have light bulbs laying around to test it, so maybe I'll take this fluorescent out and put that in there next, and we might get all of it working. Of course it was just a burnout light bulb. Well, 2 in a row, and that one's burnt out too. Let's be honest, they're all burnt out. We have new windows, look at that! It took a lot of time, a lot more time than you would have expected, because things like, you know, a lot of the wood around here was rotten, so we actually had to replace a bunch of boards where these windows had, you know, just leaked a bunch of water over the years. So we have all the insulation out of the building, which also took a very long time. Sorry, there's a cricket in here. He won't be in here for long because the spray foam will make sure we don't get any more insects coming in the building. But, you know, we got a few more things to wrap up here. But new vinyl windows that just run correctly and have real insulating, you know, low-E windows, real insulation value there. And of course, all the spray foam. Oh, I missed a couple pieces. Now that that door's down, I gotta get up there and rip those pieces out, and then we'll be home free. So the spray foam it was supposed to be tomorrow at 8 in the morning, but now I think it's gonna be Friday at 8 in the morning. So we're just moments away. 4 pieces of foam left in this thing. And of course, all of this, I gave away all of this foam. So a guy's coming to pick all that up tomorrow, and this building should be nice and clean again, and I'll put everything else in the other garage, and we're ready for spray foam, and then we're ready for air conditioning and lights, and we're ready to get to work. I am pumped. My whole to-do list for today was getting these lights up, but I didn't get that done. I sure got everything cleaned out. I got to find out that my truck actually fits, barely. I mean, there's like that much room between the antennas on that truck and this. So now I think we're gonna rip all of this wood down, pull this trim board out up there, push it all up, redo all the brick mold, reframe in this garage door, make it look nice again. Well guys, I know it doesn't look like much, but every window is on this building and trimmed out. It took way longer than we expected. It was an insane amount of work, but we got the special rail that goes on the metal. Shout out to Chase for that. And we got all the foam out of this building so the spray foam can go on and not look weird. And I know this isn't cut yet, but I just got everything framed back out to delete the windows. That took a ton of work. And tomorrow morning, all I have to do is cut those to 85 inches and slide them in, and then we'll paint the building. I know it's gonna look wrong because there's 2 different browns, but it'll look right when we're done. Well, it might not look like we got that much done, but I promise it was a lot of work, and I'm very excited by the results. It's getting much closer to where I want it to be. This will be a working shop in a matter of weeks. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. And then in the house garage, all the lights are up. And when I went to get 2x4s a minute ago to finish the framing, I got the Romex, the NM couplers. Honestly, I forget what they're called. I'm beat. But I got the couplers to the knockout things, whatever they are, to get the Romex into these lights and finish them up. So all the lights are mounted, the ceiling is much cleaner. It's not completely clean, we got more to go, but it's better. And soon we'll be mudding, or, you know, filling all these gaps with mud, painting, and getting ready to organize this thing and move into this garage. I was gonna go ahead and put the mini split on, but little problem, I want to replace all the concrete and I don't want to have them have to temporarily lift the mini split and all that stuff. So for now, this garage will remain air conditionerless, but tomorrow, big changes. This is pretty fast, guys. It's been a week since I bought this house, and we've got all of our lights in the garage. It's gonna look crazy when they're powered up, and we're gonna have that spray foamed ready for its air conditioners, and then the epoxy floors, and what? Put the lifts in. We're moving right along. A lot of lights, a ton of lights.